January 3rd, 2026, 2 in the morning. The city of Caracas, Venezuela is fast asleep. Suddenly, the silence is shattered. The night sky over the capital explodes with the roar of jet engines. 150 American aircraft, a mix of F-35s and B-2 bombers, scream overhead. Special forces fast-strobe onto the roof of the Miraflores presidential palace. Within minutes, the sitting president of Venezuela is hooded, bound, and bundled onto a waiting helicopter, spirited away into the darkness by the United States. But this is not a kidnapping story. This is the story of the greatest heist in human history. A heist not for a man, but for the keys to the entire 21st century. To understand what's really happening, you have to go back. Way back, Venezuela has always been defined by one thing: oil. Sitting on the largest proven oil reserves in the world, over 300 billion barrels. For decades, American companies like ExxonMobil and Chevron pumped that oil, making fortunes. Then, in the early 2000s, Hugo Chavez came to power. He saw this vast wealth being siphoned out of his country, so he did something unthinkable. He nationalized the oil fields, kicking out the foreign corporations and seizing the assets. Washington was furious. A series of crippling sanctions were imposed, designed to strangle the Venezuelan economy and force a regime change. For years, the country spiraled into hyperinflation and collapse. The sanctions worked, but not in the way America intended. They pushed Venezuela directly into the arms of America's rivals, China and Russia. By 2025, the stage was set for a dramatic, world-altering event. The pieces were moving, but almost nobody saw the full picture. In the fall of 2025, a surprise announcement sent ripples through the diplomatic world. The Venezuelan opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado, was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. The international community hailed it as a victory for democracy. A few weeks later, she was secretly flown to Miami for a high-level meeting with officials from the State Department and the CIA. The agenda was simple: what happens after the fall of the current government? Meanwhile, President Maduro, feeling the pressure from all sides, delivered a televised speech that stunned his supporters. He spoke of reconciliation, of stepping down for the good of the nation, hinting at a peaceful transfer of power. It was a masterful piece of political theater, designed to lower the world's guard. And it worked. The night before the invasion, just hours before American jets filled the sky, China's special envoy to Latin America was meeting with Maduro's cabinet, finalizing a multi-billion-dollar deal for infrastructure and oil rights. They were completely blindsided. The entire world was looking at the political drama at the Nobel Prizes and surrender speeches. They were all looking at the wrong thing, because this was never about the president. It was never even about the oil. The real target was something far more valuable, something the modern world cannot function without. Hidden beneath the oil-rich soil of Venezuela lies one of the planet's largest untapped deposits of rare earth minerals. What are rare earth minerals? They are the secret ingredient in everything that powers our future: neodymium, terbium, dysprosium. These aren't just obscure names on the periodic table. They are the lifeblood of modern technology. You need them for the powerful magnets in electric vehicle motors. You need them for the guidance systems in advanced missiles. You need them for the fiber optics that carry our internet, the semiconductors that power our AI, and the solar panels and wind turbines that are supposed to save our planet. For the last 2 decades, one country has held a virtual monopoly on the mining and processing of these vital materials: China. Over 90% of the global supply was under Beijing's control. This gave them a terrifying level of leverage over the United States and the entire Western world. If China ever decided to cut off the supply, the American tech industry, its green energy ambitions, and its entire military-industrial complex would grind to a halt. The Pentagon has known this for years, calling it the single greatest threat to national security. They had to find another source. They had to break China's monopoly. And they found it, right in their own backyard, under the soil of Venezuela. The American operation wasn't just a kidnapping. It was a strategic decapitation designed to seize control of the world's most critical resources before China could lock them down. This wasn't just a regional conflict. It was the first major shot in a new kind of world war. A war for the elements that will build tomorrow. The morning after the raid, the world woke up in shock. Global markets went into a freefall. The UN Security Council convened an emergency session, descending into a shouting match. But behind the public outrage, the real moves were being made in secret. Russia, expected to be Venezuela's staunchest defender, was strangely silent. Its military was bogged down, its economy strained. It could do nothing but watch. Iran, another key ally, suddenly felt incredibly vulnerable. If America could do this to Venezuela, what was stopping them from doing it in Tehran? But the most critical reaction came from Beijing. China had just lost a massive strategic and economic investment. More importantly, it had been publicly humiliated. Intelligence analysts watched, holding their breath. Would China retaliate? Perhaps not directly. But America's bold move just gave them the perfect justification for their own long-held ambition. Taiwan. The precedent had been set. The unspoken rules of international order were officially dead. And in the Middle East, a senior Israeli intelligence official gave an anonymous, chilling statement to the press. "Welcome to the new world. There are no more rules." He was right. The old world order, the one built after World War II, had just collapsed in a single night. In the weeks that followed, the new reality began to take shape. The kidnapped president was put on trial in the US for drug trafficking, a convenient justification for the invasion. Back in Venezuela, a new interim government, led by the Nobel laureate Machado, welcomed the Americans as liberators. Immediately, the corporate vultures descended. ExxonMobil, Chevron, Halliburton, the same companies kicked out years ago rushed back in, their contracts already prepared. Within 6 months, Venezuelan oil production tripled, flooding the global market and crashing prices, which conveniently hurt Russia and Iran. But the real work was happening quietly, in the remote regions of the country. Teams of geologists and engineers, escorted by US military personnel, began setting up massive mining operations. The extraction of rare earth minerals had begun on an industrial scale. The resources were flowing directly to the United States, securing its technological future for the next century. The world was fractured. The lines were being drawn. The US and its allies, now with a secure supply chain, formed one bloc. China and Russia, pushed together by American aggression, formed another. And in the middle were the non-aligned nations, forced to choose a side in this new great game. This was never about Venezuela. It was never about one president or one country's democracy. It was about who gets to write the rules for the 21st century. Who controls the raw materials that will build our artificial intelligence, power our cities, and shape the future of human civilization. The heist was successful. The treasure was secured. But this is not the end of the story. This is the beginning. China is preparing its response, and the next move may change the world forever. Thanks for watching. If you want to explore more about the forces shaping our future, make sure you subscribe. We're just getting started.